welcome to Witty Witty Banter.
I'm Monica.
And I'm Paola. And today we're going to talk about April's spicy takes, the sweet, the mild, the spicy, the sad, all of it. Hey, period. So, how was your weekend? It's been a minute because
you know what?
if y'all haven't noticed,
let's address that real quick.
Yes, if you guys haven't noticed, last week's episode was an archive episode.
It was from the vault.
We did it on purpose before we did this beautiful new setup here. And we were just like, in case any of us get sick again, because y'all remember when we both got sick and we couldn't do our, regular schedule.
So that's why I was in boots. Because it's warm now. It was winter then.
And that's why we were on the couches. And it was a completely different setup. It was because it was recorded before we had this new setup here. And we just decided, you know what? Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up. It is something that we are both passionate about. So we gave y'all a memory lane a little bit sooner than what we were planning on. But you know what?
From the memory lane.
Yes, exactly.
I was telling Theory though, whenever I was watching it this morning, I was like, we were so baby-like because it was like closer to the beginning of whenever we first started doing the podcast. And I'm just like, the vibe was different.
It was different. Yeah. Speaking of, I want to shout out my friend Landon. We talked about 2 weeks ago. I meant to mention him the 2 episodes ago.
And I promise you, she has been meaning to mention you.
Yes. But he was like, girl, I've been keeping up with your podcast and it's just getting better and better. So thank you so much, Landon. Love you. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
So yeah, I just wanted to shout Landon out for, giving us a compliment.
Yeah. No, I do want to shout out some other people too. So not this last weekend, but the weekend before, I got to go to Houston, to Katy, Texas, to celebrate one of my friend's mom's vow renewal.
Oh,
so Demi's mom.
I did see that.
Yes, and they were beautiful. The venue was beautiful. I also got to be around people that I've looked up to my entire life. And like I said on the last episode, before the memory lane, I told you, like, I'm not even sure why I'm in the room with these people, but I'm so happy to be a part
you know why.
of.
You know why.
No,
we're playing.
It's a big deal for me. So talking to Elida Reina, talking to Shelly Lares, being around other people, that we have met along the way. So shout out to Laura and Eddie for keeping us company there too, because we had a blast. But getting to talk to the people that I've looked up to my entire career, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And of course, your girl was eating away and drinking the drinks and just having a good time. So I want to shout out Lynn and Jesse. Thank you guys so much for inviting us out. Y'all are family to us and we love y'all very, very much. And it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, good.
So that was last
congratulations.
weekend.
Yes.
Not this past weekend, but this past weekend was fun too. I'm not usually a gambler. I don't go and do the cards and all that stuff, but we went to go see Carlos Santana at WinStar. And, if we're going to go.
Yeah, if you're going to go to WinStar, might as well, spend a couple hundred.
And most of the time, like, I'm just not a lucky person, like, at all when it comes to the machines.
What happened this time? Did it change? Did your luck change?
I came home with what I brought, plus a little bit extra.
Okay, good.
So that
a little gas money. Yeah, good. Okay,
exactly.
Period. That's always a win.
Some grocery money.
Yes, girl. Because them egg prices ain't going lower.
No. But when I'm losing, I'm like, this is the worst freaking Chuck E. Cheese I've ever been to, So,
I know. Chuck E. Cheese is definitely indoctrination to gambling.
It's the gateway.
It's the gateway. Yes, it's the gateway building.
For real. No, so we watched Carlos Santana. I want to give a big shout out to Les and Carmen. Les is a part of my band. He's the guitarist. And they've also become very much like family to us, so we took them with us.
Aww,
and what's funny is that Les wasn't really a big Carlos Santana fan. Not like he didn't like him. He just didn't really listen. And so they ended up going to the concert with us. I'm like, yeah, it's your favorite person. And he ended up liking it. So it was
What's
fun.
not to like?
Exactly. No, but we had a good time. Got to spend some time this weekend with Marco because much needed.
Yes.
My guy works 2 jobs. And so we don't really see each other all that much. And then we got to see Joel play soccer.
Aww,
and he scored. He scored a goal. He didn't realize it, but he scored the goal. Yeah.
At least it wasn't on the other team.
Right. Exactly. No, but
Aw,
he's the type of little boy
yay.
that likes to play with his hands and dance instead of staying focused on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing good.
Aww,
But what about
that's so
you?
cute. Well, this weekend I just spent it doing a garage sale, my first garage sale ever, and it was
Hey.
really good, a success. Shout out to Yaneri. She came out, brought her stuff, and helped me set up and kept me
Nice.
company because it is a long day type of thing.
It
like it's like
is.
an all day thing. And I did it a half day Friday and then the full day on Saturday. And then Sunday I was like, well, I need to reorganize my garage. So the shop is closed today.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's good.
But no, it was really good. There was only one minor incident that happened.
Uh-oh.
Like I had a display of like watches, and one of the watches was still in the box because it was Christian's old watch, and it was like a nice fossil watch with like a leather band or whatever.
Ooh.
And it was really nice. And I just had it there, like it displayed, right? And me and Yaneri were like, really helpful and being like, hey, do you need anything? Can I reach anything for you? Oh, that's going to be 25 cents. Oh, that's this, that, And there was a guy who asked me like, hey, do you guys have this? And I was like, actually, let me go check and see. And I'm not blaming this person, but that was like the only time, but that was the only time I wasn't like really looking and like really just like paying attention, to like all of the items that we had out there. So after that couple left, like a group of ladies came and they were like looking over, and I was like, okay, let me reorganize. And I noticed that the fossil box had the top on top. And I was like, that's not how I had it. And I was like, these fuckers fucking like stole my shit.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad. I was pissed, of course, because it's like the principle, it's a yard sale.
But still.
Like you are going to steal from a yard sale. And like, obviously it's going to be easier because there's no cameras. There's no beep, 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 to like catch you in the act.
There's no wire pull.
There's no wire, So I get it. I get why you would do it. But it was just like, damn, that sucks. People still out here stealing and shit, which I mean, again, I'm not surprised. And the only thing that like gave me a little bit of like, it's okay, whatever, it was because that watch was given to Christian by his ex-girlfriend.
Ah, there we go.
So I was like, I am pissed. It's principle, but
God works in mysterious ways, baby. He got rid of the problem for you.
Right, exactly. I was like, you know what? I wanted to get $25 for it. That would be nice, but it's okay. I would have thrown it in the lake, I guess.
And that's on what?
That's on period. So, we take a bad situation and always look at the bright side. And así yo me limpio las manos, and I don't feel like hatred in my heart. And I don't, because hatred in your heart and holding a grudge and like being pissed, like that will tarnish your soul. So I was like,
what I've been posting on my close friends, so
yeah,
that nobody else sees it, but I'm just like, this is for you, but you're not gonna read it.
right. It's like a reminder. So yeah, it was upsetting, but at the end of the day, we're good because I know my slate is clean, and they're gonna get theirs. They're gonna get what is coming to them because that was disrespectful and not right.
Yeah.
So spicy takes.
So speaking of not right.
Speaking of not right. No. We're going to start with a little sweetness.
Yes.
We're going to start it sweet.
For the people that are just tuning into Witty Witty Banter, we always do spicy takes with a sweet, a mild, and an extra spicy.
Extra spicy. Okay. And sometimes the extra spicy isn't like spicy. It could be sad and kind of traumatic.
Yeah.
So brace yourselves because spicy takes is a roller coaster.
Yeah. So grab a drink. And cheers, amiga.
Cheers.
And we're going to get started with Coachella.
Had to get my little sip on. Because, girl, Coachella this year, I heard was poppin', but I also heard that if you don't have a lot of money, then it's going to be kind of like a shit show for you.
Yeah, basically. This is for I think the event was created for the elite, ultimately, or what they call themselves as the elite. I know a couple of my cousins way back, whenever it was a little bit more affordable than it was now, than it is now. They were like, yeah, it's a good experience, but after a couple of days, you get burnt out, literally
like
from the sun.
There's not enough drugs out there for you to be able to party for like 3 days,
Yeah,
4
or
days, or a
sunscreen.
whole week. There's not enough sunscreen to like cover your body.
You know,
Yeah.
nobody covers their bodies though. Have you seen some of the outfits?
Yes, girl, that's the main attraction for me, aside from the music, is like, oh, let me see what y'all wearing, you know, and a lot of 2013 outfits are coming back, like
Yeah.
the boho type of style. And of course, you know, festivals with their little, you know, little bras and whatever.
And sometimes not even that.
Just little tapes.
Not even that. I was looking over some videos and I was like, damn, if I could be just that confident in my body, which we all know that I'm not, but it's just like, because I walked in here, I was like, yeah, I don't like my arms today, so I'm just going to cover up.
We can wear a little jacket, you know.
But I mean, to see people that are, you know, enjoying concerts, enjoying the artists out there, name a couple of them.
Okay, so here's a list. We got Lady Gaga.
Absolutely
and
amazing.
Of course, I'm sure she was like the headliner of the show. We had T-Pain.
I know.
There's a lot of memes going around of T-Pain doing his twirl and like people being like, oh, he's trained.
Yeah.
He is ballet trained.
They have it with Selena's music in the background.
Yes. You already know. I bet T-Pain listens to Selena.
Come on.
Like, I already know.
Moves?
I already know. He'd be dancing to cumbia. You know, speaking of cumbia, Los Mirlos were there too.
Oh, wow.
The people who did Cumbia de los Pajaritos.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, badass. I would be there.
Got a little bit more Latin representation.
Yes, definitely. We also had Travis Scott, Post Malone, Charlie XCX, Lisa. Oh yeah, Jenny Kim.
Yes.
Jenny Kim was there. I had no idea who this was.
So if you don't know who Jenny is, she has a song that's named like Jenny. And
can you play
a
snippet, like literally 10 seconds? No, play the main part.
Let me go ahead.
The chorus.
Okay. It's my first time, actually second time listening to this. Okay, Jenny.
For real.
She said, fuck Jenny from the block.
Hey, the moment the song comes on, dude, you just feel like a bad bitch. Like, yes. You really do.
Dude, I love those beats where you can, like, put on some heels and just, like, boom, boom.
It's like
boom,
Runway.
boom,
yeah.
boom,
exactly. So, now you know.
Now you know. I didn't know either. I did not know either until right now.
I think she comes from, like, a group. I don't know if it's Blackpink. I don't want to say that because I could be wrong.
See, I'm not a K-pop girly.
I'm not either.
I have no idea.
But I know that she came from a group. I think Lisa came from a group.
Lisa was one of the people. Green Day was also on the lineup, and you were telling me because I haven't seen a lot of Green Day footage yet.
If I can find the video of them talking about it, I will, and we'll post it right
here.
But they were talking, they changed their lyrics for American Idiot to talk about, you know, they're not part of the MAGA agenda and just talking about like basically what they believe in within their music that's already created about against the government anyway.
I love it. Right. So, yes, because their album American Idiot is basically a like fuck you to the government. So it's like it's like what a perfect way to declare that brand of like, you know, we are the resistance, we are going to speak up. And I love it when artists are able to speak up against things that are wrong,
exactly,
even if it is a big entity as the government. So
yeah,
okay, great.
No, so that was cool. And then I think Benson Boone was out there.
Yes, Benson Boone, the guy who like got what is it? The Grammy performance, and
where he's flipping and
flipping, and then he did the whole like grabbing of the junk, trying to fix it, and then he
guy that sings beautiful things.
Do.
Basically,
that guy.
if you were wondering at all. No, but I think at Coachella he brought on the guitar player from Queen. Because he did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bro, I bet he killed that.
Did a whole performance. But here's the thing that I really hate about this next generation. They don't know who the hell these people are. And so they're not getting excited for like the legacy that, you know, is there.
If only you knew.
It's a big deal. If you know Bohemian Rhapsody, you know Queen. And if you know Queen, you know the people that were in the band.
Yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, I also saw I saw a TikTok actually of a lady who was at a yoga like class, and all of her like people there were Gen Z type of people, and they played Pink Floyd Oh, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is giving um the Dark Side of the Rainbow with Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd." And she's like, anybody? And they were like, the fuck are you talking about? Who are these people? And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, this is a PSA for anybody who has never watched The Wizard of Oz and The Dark Side. I can't remember what the album is, but the Pink Floyd album.
Yes. The
and
most famous one, I believe.
Yes, the one with the rainbow and the prism, that one. And she was like, if you have not seen The Wizard of Oz from beginning to end and like do it on the third roar of the MGM and start the album there, put The Wizard of Oz on mute, and then it like goes along with the story of The Wizard of Oz. And I haven't seen it before, but Christian has, and he's like told me about it, and he's like, yeah, this is freaking badass. Like, it's like one of the coolest thing. It's so trippy because the music is trippy, and then like you see all of these characters and they're trippy too. So
yeah, because the songs are a continuation, so they don't necessarily pause in between like how typical songs would be. It's a continuation of music that glides into the next song. And
yes. So I'm like, I kind of want to watch that. I was like, okay, maybe we could do a little watch party. Ever since I've been into the Wizard of Oz universe, I'm like, okay, I haven't done that one yet. So
yeah,
just a little tidbit of pop culture knowledge.
Yeah, no, I would definitely try that. That sounds interesting.
It sounds cool. Yeah, so it just kind of reminded me of that because a lot of people don't know pop culture from like the 80s, 90s, 70s, and it shows.
It's sad. It's so sad. It's like, what do you mean you don't know who this person is? What do you mean you don't know what band this, you know what I'm saying? So we've become those people.
I know, and then we are those people, and then they are those people. We are he, and he is me, and we are all together.
For real. No, but yeah, it was basically a party for rich people.
Yeah, I was listening to a few influencers talking about it, and they're like, yeah, there's like a glamping section that's like $10,000 for like 2 people, 1 bed, and it's like a tent. And I've been in one of those type of tents before. It is very comfy. It is like suitable,
but $10,000.
That's why I say Coachella is for the rich. Coachella is for the rich girls. It's like, if you have money, you gon' have a good time. If you don't have money, good luck.
You're gonna be struggling a little bit.
Yeah, good luck, because apparently like lines and lines and lines of people for the restrooms,
Girl, you know my stomach couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
No, it's like, I need a private suite, please.
Shit, give me a bucket for all I care. Bucket and toilet paper. We're good to go.
Yeah. And then also influencers going with different brands, and like having the brands pay for them is another way that people go and stuff like that. But I think like I'm a little bit too out of my not too old for that, but it's just like, that's just not something that appeals to me anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't satisfy.
It doesn't satisfy, and I'm like, I would rather be comfortable and know that I don't have to wait in line for the restroom, know that I don't have to pay thousands of dollars to like have basic amenities. Like I think that now in this like chapter of my life, it's like, I'm okay. I can do that shit at home. Let me put this shit on YouTube and party it up at my house. Okay,
with my own snacks.
With my own snacks and my own restroom. Let me dance with Moxie real quick.
There you go, right? No, but you know who else was spending a lot of money for not much of anything for a 11-minute thing?
The rich girls who went to space.
Yep. The ones that were taking up space.
Girl, take up space somewhere else.
First of all, why was Gail on the fucking flight to begin with?
Yeah, that kind of disappointed me. There? That disappointed me a little bit. I was like, Katy Perry, girl, I get it. You be doing the dumbest shit.
She does the weirdest thing.
Girl, you be doing the dumbest shit. I'm sorry. Money has not done you good at all.
Like, you don't know what to do with it. That's the thing. I feel like she has it and has no idea where to put it. No idea. So,
girl, I know. And then they were saying like, oh, we want to be inspiring, like this is a take up space mission and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, if you want to be inspiring, give that money that you gave to Bezos to do this for you. Give that money to kids in science and STEM who want to be astronauts. Or NASA. And I was thinking about it on my way here, like, I don't mind that people go to space, even though like the fuel is
There has
going
to be a reason.
it has to be a reason, yeah. And even though like there isn't like the climate change thing, like for me that's a big thing. And them going for 11 minutes for no fucking reason and
just
you
to
just
come back down.
just to come back down and rub it in our face that you have enough money to go to space.
Yeah, might as well go to Six Flags and do that shit.
Yes, seriously. Like, so they just ruined part of our climate because they decided to go to take up space.
Well, what was it? It was Gail, Katy Perry.
I don't remember the other three.
And then Bezos' girlfriend, I believe. She was wearing freaking heels.
Yeah.
Heels.
Yeah.
What? Like, but there were 2 astronauts on the trip that actually studied and actually, you know, did their due diligence of becoming an astronaut.
Right, because if something went wrong, you needed those people there.
Hell yeah.
Because the fuck Katy Perry with the flower, she ain't gonna do shit.
No, not at all. No, but like I saw on TikTok, of course, my sources. I saw on TikTok the Asian lady, I don't know her name, but she actually was going to, you know, school to become an astronaut. In the midst of doing that, she was assaulted.
Oh God. And
so she had to take a break from her training to go to court and to get this all done. I think she won.
Okay, good.
So thankfully that
good.
And then came back and finished her training for her to be able to do this. And she's the first Vietnam woman to ever be in space.
Yes.
So that a lot of people they feel like there's a controversy here because ultimately, not with her, but or a conspiracy because a lot of people don't believe that they actually went up.
Right. I have seen a lot of videos of people, like even people saying that a text message thread with Katy Perry and her mom got leaked. I haven't seen this text message thread, but I don't know.
The way I feel about it is a person that knows that it's fake, like being a part of something that's fake, they're gonna disclose, especially if it's something you've worked your whole career for, had to stop because you had to take care of other business and then come back.
I am curious because I haven't heard if they had to sign an NDA.
They probably did.
Or anything like that. But like, I'd be curious to see if they did, because it's like, if they signed an NDA, then I would kind of believe that a little bit more, because it's like, why would you have to like sign an NDA? I guess scientific things. I don't know. You know, like, but I do believe that they went to space. And
I think that was the only good thing out of it. It was 2 female astronauts, one of them being the very first Vietnamese astronauts to go up into space. So I want to believe wholeheartedly that was what it was.
Yes. No, you know what I would have wished that they would have done to be more inspiring? If the cause, or like if the purpose of this mission was to be inspiring to other women and astronauts to become, or women to become astronauts, just like the other 2 that were there, why not sponsor? That's what I'm saying. Why not sponsor a high school kid? Why not sponsor a college student who is training to do this? Why not sponsor somebody who has the interest of space to do this program? But instead, you want to take the spotlight. You want to be the one to take up space. You want to be the one in the spotlight. You want to be the one to say, I went to space, because you have the money. But if you had a different mentality, you would have given that money and sourced it to somebody else.
And Gail just needs to be quiet at this point, because she'd be talking at her ass, like literally, like I guess she's upset with the people that are, you know, she's getting bad criticism for even doing it, which duh.
What did you expect?
Duh.
There's going to be good and bad. Whatever you do, whatever you put out there, there's going to be good criticism and bad criticism. And you better be able to take it.
But it's like, look, Oprah's friend. Look.
That's why you famous. Sorry.
Just take a chill pill for a second. A lot of us were just, you know, obviously we don't have the desire to do it because we know it's never going to be possible for us to do it, you know?
Yes.
And in one of her interviews, she was like, well, have you been to space? No, bitch, I have not been to space.
How are you going to gaslight me, who doesn't have 6-7 figures in my bank account?
And is besties with Oprah. And Bezos, basically.
Yeah, like, what the hell, girl?
Can I get a loan?
It's like, girl, get out of here for longer than 11 minutes. Go on. Go on with yourself.
Go back to space.
Go back to space, okay?
Take up space there.
I'm sure they miss you up there, girl.
Yeah, no, but it's very unserious.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think that is the main thing that I have an issue with, that it is very unserious. Going to space is a massive investment, and it should be taken very
They just brought back
seriously.
the astronauts that had been floating up in space for I don't know how long, almost a year.
Almost a year.
They just brought them back, and when they brought them back, they couldn't even walk. They couldn't even walk. So
Yes.
how in the world do you think that your mission had any
It's just disrespectful.
It really is.
It just really
big
is
slap in the face for the people that can't and won't.
Right. And even the people who are trained to do it and don't even get the chance to go up to space.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
There's only
to me.
very few missions in NASA that will actually go up.
Yes, and now with the Trump administration, they are cutting funding for a lot of scientific, like, things for tuberculosis, cancer treatments, things like that are really going to innovate and change the world. They are cutting funding for.
Sounds right.
And NASA is one of the agencies that is going to get funding cuts.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. So this is really showing you that the elite, the billionaires, are playing in our face.
Yep.
They're just playing in our face.
No, for sure. So
a lot of mixed feelings.
Very, very mixed feelings. I'm not in any kind of way inspired.
Absolutely
or
not.
Encouraged. It's more just like, okay, you just made the female race a little bit less significant.
Girl, I thought the wait, what is it? Girls go to Jupiter and guys get stupider?
I think
y'all didn't even go to Jupiter. God damn it. No.
Ay, Dios mío.
It's like, no. Yeah. That was a bad thing for them to do.
Yeah.
I don't approve that.
No,
that mission.
Disapprove.
Yeah. That's our spicy take.
Witty bad.
witty bad. Yes, that was witty bad.
You know what else was kind of witty bad?
Witty sad.
Yeah.
Actually. And this is the last topic that we're going to talk about today, even though April was very packed, especially, like we brought up the Trump administration, and our hearts go out to all of the people who are getting deported without due process.
Yeah.
And the children who are
they're starting to deport
children and having them represent themselves in court at 2 years old, 2, 3, 4 years old, representing themselves in court as to why they should stay in this country, and then being deported by themselves.
Because they have no understanding.
Yeah. So yeah, our hearts go out to that. Do your research.
Know your
rights, because it's not getting any safer out there. And like we said in many spicy takes before, it's gonna get crazier before we see a rainbow, before we even see anything positive.
Back.
A fight back. Yeah. And there is a national what is it? Protest. There's going to be a national protest May 1st, May Day, and it's going to be nationwide. So look and see which cities are going to have protests, and also make sure you go out to vote. This is the most important election. It is your local election.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, we had a councilwoman here who told us exactly what they do for you, exactly how they advocate for you. And if you're not out there voting for your local government, you are not going to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
You're going to not be able to have somebody who you want to advocate for you.
Well, yeah. And also not making a decision is also stating that you know, that's your statement right there.
Yeah.
You're choosing to side with whatever direction this is going to go.
You're allowing somebody else to make the decision for you.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't care enough to sway the decision any type of way, so you're just going to let it happen to you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna regret it whenever it really does affect you.
Yeah, don't go crying to nobody, because that was you. That was your choice.
Yes.
But again, vote for what you believe in, ultimately. We're never going to sit there and tell you how.
The only thing I can say is do your research. If you do your research, because like the thing is, for me, whenever we were looking at the ballot for Rowlett, we did our early voting. Me and Christian went last week.
Saw that.
Had a nice little walk and everything. And May 3rd is your last chance to vote. Okay, May 3rd is election day, by the way, for local governments. But when we were doing our research, it was like, okay, make sure you know what district you live in.
Yes.
First of all, make sure know what district you live in, and know who are the 2 candidates or 3 candidates who are
within your district
running in that district, because those are the people who are going to advocate for the things that you want to change. So for me, in my district, the candidate that I voted for, one of the things that he said was, we need to stop the stank. And if you've ever been to my house, we live close to like a waste plant, and it stank. Okay. It stank, especially like at night.
Well, especially by
stank.
the lake.
And we're by
too.
the lake, you know? And one of the things that he said, he was like, I want to stop the stank. I need to work with the people I need to work with to make sure that they have what they need to make sure that our city doesn't smell bad.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, he was giving a whole plan. And the other candidate was just like, no, I believe that we all should just work together and da da da, which is great. I love it. Yes, I believe that too.
World peace.
World peace. I believe that. I truly do believe that. But what are the issues you're going to work on?
Yeah. How are you going to do this?
Yeah. So that's my PSA. Do your research, know the district that you are living currently in, know the candidates, and know what they are trying to change in your district. And also know the bills that are passing, because there's some bills out there that are passing to take away the curriculum that they're currently teaching, to teach the Bible through English. And there's all sorts of funding cuts and everything like that that is really up on this ballot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my PSA before we go into this really sad news.
Yes. So the Pope has passed away.
Yes.
On Easter Monday,
April 21st. Yes. And if you watched one of our memory lanes, I did speak on being a part of the Vatican mass that they hold on Wednesdays, and they bring everybody in. We got to sing for him, Pope Francis, and I was able to see him and witness him in all his glory back in 2013. And so for me, it was very impactful that he passed away. His death definitely marks a shift, I believe, because the previous Pope from him, he seemed very traditional. He seemed very like, I don't know, not necessarily advocating for human rights, you know? And Pope Francis, I feel like he advocated for human rights. He was, when I say human rights, I mean all encompassing human rights, LGBTQ, minorities, immigration, racism, homelessness, like literally everything. And so the fact that he died opens up the possibility of having somebody who is ultra traditional in the church. And the way that things are going in our country and around the world, that we see, like, people are becoming more conservative, people are becoming more traditional, you know, and like, if they get a pope who is ultra traditional in the church values, I feel like that'll be like, yeah,
right.
Like,
so here's my take on it, because I do think that, I believe I heard this correctly and I could be wrong, but I believe he is the first American Pope or something like
he's
that.
Argentinian.
So he's the first Latin one, the first Latin American Pope. And so, not to say that that's like a huge deal or that's the reason why we should be holding him high or anything like that, but the representation of, you know, not necessarily being from Italy, not necessarily, you know, being exactly like everybody else. I think that's why his take was a little bit different.
Yeah.
My viewpoint on it is, I grew up Catholic, but then I'm also Christian. So like, I have my Catholicism, you know, morals, and did everything, the sacraments, first communion, confirmation. But I do believe that this is the most Christ-like of a person that we're gonna see. So with Christianity, a lot of people are like, you have to be more like Jesus, you have to be more Christ-like, you have to show yourself in the image of Jesus. And in Catholicism, it's the same, but there's a little bit more like fear that drives the faith, rather than, you know, we have a relationship with God regardless of being Catholic or regardless of being Baptist or Christian or whatever you want to call it. But this Pope was the most Christ-like an image that we're going to see, or that we've seen in years, because the Pope before him, like how you were saying, it was very conservative, very traditional, very much judgy. I do have hope that they're going to pick somebody that's going to be just like Pope Francis, if not better.
That's what I'm hoping. But I'm just trying to be real.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
You never know. You never know when it comes to anybody, really. Like, we kind of saw it coming with Trump, don't get me wrong, but we had 4 years of him to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
But in any kind of circumstance, I think one of my favorite parts of the interviews that we've ever done is whenever the mayor came in and basically said what you said earlier, it has to go bad before it gets better, and that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
So having that mindset, because I know fear can drive.
Oh yeah,
it can take the steering wheel and you're done, and especially for me that struggles with anxiety, which this month is mental health awareness. I get easily anxietied out or fearful of what this country is going to be like, or what this world is going to be like.
Right.
But the only thing that we can do in the process is pray for something or someone to come into this place of being Pope.
Yeah.
With the same kind of mindset. With having more of a Christ-like viewpoint.
Right.
Because even people that were not Catholic were mourning the loss of this Pope.
Yes, because he was humanitarian.
Yes.
Like, he really loved humans and saw the good in people, and even was able to like bless JD Vance, even though he was like
the day before he died.
You're a fucked up even though he didn't say that.
Coincidence? I think not.
Right. They were like the handshake of death.
Right. It was the final blow. The final blow.
But yeah, it's like knowledge is power. And if you arm yourself with knowledge, then you can see the patterns. You can see how people survived these critical times in history. And we will be there too. Like, we will be able to arm ourselves with our faith, our knowledge, and our community.
Yeah.
And I think that Pope Francis was that catalyst of bringing people together.
Absolutely.
Of bringing his faith forward and bringing hope to us. And so I hope that the next Pope can also bring that sense of community, that sense of hope, that sense of faith. But we'll have to see. I still need to watch the movie Conclave.
Oh, dude.
Because I've heard that was a drama.
That ending.
Was drama. I know. I need to.
Out
I need
of
to
your
watch
chair,
it.
like, what?
So Conclave, from what I've gathered, is basically the story of how popes get elected.
Yeah.
And
because they come from all across the country, around the world.
And this one, they were saying that there was like a lot of drama, like a lot of people digging up dirt from other people so that they can get elected. And I know it's dramatized, but you never know. I think Hollywood always has a little bit more knowledge than what we think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a little bit more.
They'd be putting it in our faces just so we can be desensitized. I need to watch Conclave to see
tonight.
What's up tonight. Yes, tonight. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
And then also the conspiracy, the Nostradamus like prophet things were really hot right now, especially because people think that Pope Francis is the last pope, or the Antichrist is coming and all this shit. It's like, man, the Antichrist been coming like since 2000. Okay,
yeah,
bro, you 25 years late. Like, come on, that.
Well, remember when they said 2012 was going to be the year that the world ended? Do you know how scared I was? I'm like, I haven't even lived yet.
Haven't even graduated.
I haven't even graduated. Yeah. So people, like, I get it, but calm down.
Yes.
Let me live.
Yeah, seriously, because it's we, like you said, when we focus on the fear and we focus on all of that,
yeah,
you're lost.
So basically, if you've seen Inside Out 2, where anxiety comes into play, and if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, she's all over the board in Riley's head. That's what I go through. And anxiety thinks that it's helping the body, but in reality, you're freaking out more because you're trying to prepare for all the things that are not there yet.
Right.
So it's out of our control.
It is out of our control. So like you said, all we got to do is pray and have faith that the next pope is going to bring people together.
Amen.
And hopefully also speak out against fascism, tyranny, bigotry. So that's our hope and our message for today.
Yeah.
So that was our spicy takes. Some, sweet, mild, and sad news.
And I do want to preface this a little bit before we head out. We started talking about the Pope, and there was all this noise in the gallery.
Yes.
It's not what you think it is. We're in a recreation center called the Epic in Grand Prairie. This is the podcast booth. And we have a bunch of kids out doing UIL. So they also use this in the community. And so I wanted y'all to know, like, just because we were talking about Pope Francis and all of a sudden in the background.
Yeah, the amount of focus we need to have, because we can hear it even through our headphones. But yeah, there's a very beautiful theater that they use as part of their competition. So sometimes you will hear, kids speaking very loudly.
Yeah. No, but we do want to give a big shout out to the Epic. Thank you guys so much for having us in the studio. If y'all have any questions about the spicy takes that we talked about, or even more spicy takes along the way, you can reach out to me and Paola on our Instagram handles. But if that doesn't work for you, we also have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on YouTube and Spotify for the podcast. And if you have any more questions for us, as well as for Theory that's behind the booth here, you can reach out to us at witty@gmail.com.
Yes, and make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, because that definitely helps us reach more people and create this beautiful community that we have currently built. So until next time, guys. Bye.